All right. Thank you for your patience. I overpromised for today a little bit. It's probably my own fault. I probably could have delivered everything that I promised for today, but I wanted to do more. I wanted to have the songs in better shape, and I've been crash prepping them for the last 24 hours, and I only really have half together. I'm this close to having the other half. If I had had another half an hour, I think I would have made it. But we're going to do half, and which works out because the cover songs that I've done split into 2 decades. Let me turn this reverb off for a second here. The cover songs that I've done split into 2 decades. Yeah, thank you, Henry. I had the reverb on. I'm going to need it in a minute because I'm going to be singing for this whole one, but I didn't need it yet. And I did 5 songs, cover songs from the 80s, and I did 5 cover songs from the 90s. I have them, like I said, all together, but I needed to do quick, rough mixes with like the temp vocals that are on there and output them. And I was 3 songs away on the 90s. I needed another half an hour, 10 minutes a song, and I would have boom, 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 been done. But we're gonna do them next week, is what we'll do, or the week after. And then we'll go through them all. But today you will get all 5 of the 80s songs. I got them loaded while you guys were listening to Reparations. So I think we'll be able to do them all, I hope. The one thing I don't have ready are the lyrics. Patty is sitting over there. Did you get those together for me? Where do you have them?
In your Mark Nicholas Gmail.
In my Mark Nicholas Gmail. I'm going to pull them up. Hooray for Patricia, who saved the day on that, or I would easily forget the lyrics and have trouble singing them for you guys because they're not songs that I wrote, so it's easy to forget them. Okay, great. The first song is the first one in her list. Look at that. How helpful. You'll even hear Patricia's voice this week because she sang backing vocals on one of these 80s songs. So you'll hear that because I can't hit some of the notes and she can. So that worked out really well. Okay, so first up is a song you will all know from the I'm going to go ahead and say the most popular synth pop band of all time, Depeche Mode. I always said I wouldn't really ever do a Depeche Mode cover. I didn't intend to, but I did it. So not fully, this isn't released, but I did make one because I was fooling around one day, and it kicked off this little series of covers that I was doing one a week. I would just improvise them as quick as I could. You know, I'd take an hour or two, I'd slap something together, and I'd hold up my iPhone and record myself and sing them. These are going to be a little bit better sounding if everything goes well than the last time I did them, and I didn't have all of these together, I don't think. Maybe I did all 5 of these before, but not every single song that you're going to hear in this series. Not all the 90s songs were done. And I've updated the mixes and things like that. So this first one is called The Things You Said. And I think that it's a pretty good cover. Nobody's Depeche Mode. I don't sing like Dave Gahan or Martin Gore, but it's fun to hear a different, just slightly revised versions of things. I think updated versions of things or versions done in a certain band style. I'm putting the reverb back on purpose because I'm going to try to sing along. And this is song number 1 of 5 that you'll hear today. I'm going to hope that you guys will cast votes for your favorites so I have a good sense of which ones are worth finishing all the way through and maybe releasing someday soon. That's my intention. Maybe an EP of cover songs, something along those lines. All right, without any more introduction, The Things You Said, Depeche Mode.
You said I heard it from my friends about the things you said, but they know me better than that. They know me better than that. They know my weaknesses. I tried to hide them.
So that was the Depeche Mode song. And that's it for that one. I'm going to take the reverb off for a second, and I'm going to ask Patricia another big favor. Actually, I don't think you can do it, but oops, hang on. We're not ready for that one yet. I don't think anybody can do it. I want to post this YouTube link out for everyone to see on Facebook. So I'm going to try to do that while I'm talking away here. Apologies for the interruption, but I feel like most people look on Facebook because that's where I've been doing the live streams, and I don't want them to miss it. I appreciate all of you who tracked this down on your own. I know it's not that complicated to search YouTube, but nice to make it easy for people too. So if you liked the Depeche Mode song, keep that in mind because I will ask you to vote. By all means, you can say right off the bat, you have to cover that one if you liked it, and I will take that to heart. But if you want to wait until the end and judge it against the other 4 that you're going to hear today, that's fine too. So okay, I've made that post, and you know, you can wait until the end and tell me what you like at that point. That'll work fine too. Free concert. You're right. Thank you. This one is a winner, and I haven't even heard the other ones yet. So that's, yes, by all means, if you want to chime in and say you like it and that one has to be on there, you don't care what the other ones sound like, that works for me. So that's good. I'm glad a couple of you liked it. Simple Essence of Synth Pop. Thank you. So that's that one. All right, next up, what should I do next? I think I'll do them in the order that I recorded them. So the next one is, I think this is the next one I did. It's called Jennifer. And it's by the Eurythmics. And I'm going to guess most people won't know the original version of this song, which probably means people won't vote for it, which bums me out because I've always liked the original, and I quite like the cover, and I think I could do more cool things with it than I already have. The Things You Said is one of the more fleshed out ones. Some of these are a lot more raw, where I've only got a couple of the elements, and you're just going to have to use your imagination on how well I would develop them. Jennifer is somewhere in the middle. It's got some of the elements, but there's a lot more that I could do to make it sound like a real fleshed out mix. Yeah, Jennifer by the Eurythmics, great song. Even if you don't vote for it, I do highly recommend that you go track down the original and add it to your collection. You won't regret it. That whole Eurythmics album, it's the Sweet Dreams album. You certainly know the song Sweet Dreams is great. I didn't want to cover Sweet Dreams because you can't do Sweet Dreams any better, or any version of Sweet Dreams is never going to be as good as the original. You could do different, but you couldn't do as good. So I didn't want to touch it. So here we go with Jennifer, which is starting now.
Jennifer, with your orange hair. Jennifer, with your green eyes. Jennifer, in your dress of deepest purple. Jennifer, where are you tonight? Jennifer, with your orange hair. Jennifer, with your green eyes. Jennifer, with your dress of deepest purple. Jennifer, where are you tonight? Underneath the water, underneath the water. Underneath the water.
All right. I see a couple of you saying that you're having trouble hearing me. I feel like the audio looks like it's relatively okay. I could see it being just a hair quiet, but it can't be too bad actually because I've got everything pretty cranked. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not tragic. I'm sure it's better if I lean in this way and I'm closer to the mic. But if you turn your volumes up, I think you'll be okay. I think the fidelity is pretty good from what I can see. All right. Yeah, and some people are saying you can hear me perfectly fine. Okay, good. Yeah, if the volume's just a hair low, I'm going to let that go. It'd be hard to chase that down. Okay, so that was Jennifer by the Eurythmics. I know you guys won't vote for it, but it could be really cool. So I'll just say that I have faith in it. All right. Next up is... I think the next up is the one that Patricia sang on her big debut. This is one of the few very popular 80s synth pop bands, Information Society. And I guess I don't even know if I dare say very popular because they were mostly popular in the 80s, unlike some of the 90s and 2000s bands that stayed on the charts in Europe and other places. Information Society still making songs sometimes. It's not like they went away, but not as many, continuous hits as, say, Pet Shop Boys, I think we would all admit. But still, they were big at the end of the 80s. And I did make the foolish mistake of trying to cover their biggest song, which is What's on Your Mind. They have many other great songs that I could have gone after, but I thought if you're going to do... I thought I could do something a little different with this one. I could slow it down a bit and it would have a different vibe. So that's what I tried to do here. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. You guys can be the judge. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's pretty cool. So we'll sing it and you guys make your own judgments.
Here I am in silence, looking round without a clue. I find myself alone again, all alone with you. I can see behind your eyes the things that I don't know. If you hide away from me, how can our love grow? I wanna know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I wanna know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind. I know I could break you down, but what good would it do? I could surely never know that what you say is true. Here I am in silence, a game I have to play. You and I in silence, with nothing else to say. I wanna know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I wanna know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
All right. That was Information Society with Patricia on guest vocals. So that's and what's on your mind, brackets pure energy, due to that wonderful sample from Leonard Nimoy from Star Trek. I did not use the original sample, obviously. I don't want to chase down a sample clearance for it, so I made my own little version of it, which I think is doing all right for itself. Jose is saying, hello, Mark. Hope that everything is fine. Could you please play one of my favorite songs, The Introvert? Not today, I'm afraid. I appreciate it. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll kick it out at the very end as a goodbye. But today's a song of performing these 5 80s cover songs and having everybody select which ones they think are decent, worth putting on an EP at some point. So we've heard 3 of those so far. We will go and put on 2 more, and then maybe I will play The Introvert for Jose. So let's see, what else do we have? We have New Order. Why not? Why not cover the best? Why not cover the greatest? So I thought, so let's do some New Order. This is True Faith. I ended up at the last second, just this morning, dragging the pitch of the whole song down 3 steps because I could not sing it. It was too high in the original key. So kudos to Bernard Sumner for being able to do it. I could not. I don't know if that messed up the music too badly because I did it. I was slamming these together, but hopefully it still sounds all right. And at least I know I can sing it a little better than I did before I changed the pitch. So that's something. I'll be less horrible for you. Here we go. This is True Faith by New Order. As I have of that one. I know it's a little shorter than the others. I just didn't have time to crank out the second verse. Apologies. But hopefully you get a sense of that. Yes, John saying interesting choice for New Order. The reason I chose that one is because it's undercovered, right? Can you find a cover of Bizarre Love Triangle? Yes, you can. Can you find a cover of Blue Monday? Of course you can. Can you find a cover of True Faith? Maybe, but not that many. And it was a pretty big hit song. Certainly in the U.S., it was one of their bigger hits. People always forget, I think, that like some of these songs that we just assume were massive #1 hits because they're played so much, like Bizarre Love Triangle, weren't actually that big in the United States. They found life afterwards in clubs, things like that, stood the test of time, and so they're still around. But yeah, I think in Europe they were much, much more popular. But in the U.S., top 40, not that much. You had to be one of the cool kids to have discovered it. And I wasn't when it first came out, by the way. I missed it. I had a friend, David Humphrey, who introduced me to Depeche Mode, Erasure, New Order, all my favorite bands. I didn't know about them. Maybe I'd heard of Pet Shop Boys because of West End Girls, but I didn't know about most of these bands. Yaz, another one, played all the time now. Never had heard them before because they weren't on the radio. I had no exposure. If I hadn't met David, how long would it have taken me to have heard those songs? I don't know. So anyway, that's 4 out of 5, New Order, True Faith. And then, what's my last one? I know I've got another song here for you guys. Oh yeah, Morrissey. Controversial figure, that Morrissey. I think we can all agree. But He wrote some damn fine songs, no matter how you slice it. He's not the only musician with that sort of troubled history, troubled past, and even troubled present. But a good song is a good song, and I've always liked Suede Head, so I covered that. I did it very differently than he does it. For better or for worse, I don't think that my vocal recording on this went that well that I slammed in this morning. So try to imagine that I've sung it much better in the future for the future recording that I would make. Hear through the recording what the potential of the song is. That goes for all of these. If you think I'm on the right track, but maybe it doesn't sound golden yet, that's okay. I can make it better. I would make it better. All right. So Suede Head, last one, and then, cast your votes. But here we go. Any second now, as soon as I click it. There we go. Far as I got with that one. All right, reverb off, song stopped. I have 2 other songs exported for the 90s section. A little Nirvana action, a little bit of Cranberries are the 2 that I have ready. I was not able to finish Sex and Candy, which is one of the best ones. I needed to be able to play that, and I didn't want to skip that one out. I was not able to finish You Were Meant For Me by Jewel, which is almost done. I mean, right on the cusp, all I had to pretty much do was kick it out. And I did a special one that nobody's heard before, but it could use a little extra work, so I'm kind of glad for the extra week on this one. And that is All I Want by Toad the Wet Sprocket. I had half done it before and then got distracted and never finished it, so I sang that. I need to put some more music in the music, but I will do all 5 of those next time. It might be 2 weeks. If I can do it in a week, I will. But it might be 2 weeks again before I come back, same bat time, same bat channel, and perform the last 5 of those, and you can vote on the 90s songs. But it'd be nice if the EP was 2 from the 80s, 2 from the 90s, something like that. So I think it's still okay for you guys to vote for the songs that you heard today from the 5 that you heard. Tell me which ones you like. It'll be so helpful. You can vote anywhere, obviously, if you need time to contemplate it, if you want to listen to them again, blah, 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 blah. But if you post in the comments section here, I will see them now. I won't forget, I promise. But you can always post on Facebook, post on the comments on this video after it's sitting up on YouTube for a while. That's totally fine. Okay, that's it. That's all I had planned. I was going to do an hour show to do all 10 of those. The only other thing I could do is take 20 minutes and try to kick the rest of those songs out. But I don't think anybody wants to sit around with dead air for 20 minutes. So probably better to come back and have better versions of them and all that. Since nobody is commenting, I'm going to assume you hate them all. Is that correct? So please, everybody, just type, "We hate these. They're terrible. Nice try, Cosmicity." And then I'll know that that's what happened. I'm acting like Donald Trump. Everybody hates me. All right, didn't mean to get political, but that's his latest quote, I think, right? Am I close? Patty, what did he say exactly?
I guess people just don't like me.
Oh, yeah.
Like Fauci.
I guess people don't, I guess people just don't like me. They like Fauci. Well, I mean, I think in the middle of a pandemic, you've got one guy trying to protect you and one guy who doesn't care. It's just me. That's just my take. I can see why maybe America prefers Fauci. All right. Okay, some people are starting to comment at last. Let's see. We've got Jennifer. Cover was almost identical. Voting for Jennifer. Let's see. They seem rather plain as covered. First one was probably the best. Okay. Harsh and honest. I'll take that. Plain is a tough word, right? But they are plain, I suppose, because they were done in a hurry, right? That's part of what I thought was charming about them. But I don't disagree, which is why I hadn't initially thought of recording them, but people have been encouraging me to. But I guess I can't disagree with the assessment that they're sort of plain. Here's another one. The 5 songs were lackluster. Wow, 2 people. Lackluster and plain. Not holding back. That's rough, right? On a live stream, people are gutsy. You got to give him credit for you know what? I know that guy's right in front of me, and this is mean, but I'm going to tell him. He needs to know the truth, and I'm going to tell that guy he hasn't done a very good job. These are lackluster. Fair enough. Fair enough. I can't really be mad about it. I mean, I asked for... actually, I didn't really ask for your opinion overall. I just asked for the best ones, but you gave it to me anyway. Depeche Mode was the best. I really want to vote Egypt. That's very funny. Followed by Information Society, then New Order. Let's see. And then, all right. So you guys like the Depeche Mode one. Fine. I don't have to finish them. Really not a problem because it's a frack ton of work. And of course they are plain. They're not done. They're rough demos that I just performed live for you guys. But if you think they suck, they suck. We won't do them. But I'm going to wait until more votes are in. I'm not going to let those 2 folks say that I shouldn't do it, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should work on something else. But yeah, let's see. This guy's saying Jennifer and Information Society were decent. I feel like it's hard to top Alan Wilder era Depeche Mode. Yeah, so the Dream Trap was saying what I said, which is you take on Depeche Mode, you tend to lose, right? Because they're the best synth pop band of all time. You're certainly not going to do it better than they did. All you can do is do it different than they did, which is why I thought that song was kind of all right. Yes, it's similar to the original, in tone and tempo, but it's got thicker drums. So if you wanted one that you could rock out a little bit more to, there you go. But it's maybe not needed in the world. The original is great. And that could be said for all of these songs, right? I picked 5 great songs. You got the originals. You don't need covers. But it was fun. So I will play. I think I'll play the Introvert for that request, assuming he's still on. Or no, I won't. These appear to not be loading. Let's see. If I can load it, I'll play it. If I can't, I won't. I might not be able to pull it up though. Trying for you. It's funny, cover songs, I always, whenever people tell me to work on them or finish them, my response is usually, well, that's taking up time that I could spend writing originals. And that's why I've never released a covers album or because it's like, well, that's a year I'll spend working on cover songs instead of writing new songs, and wouldn't you rather have new songs? And I always get pushback on that, saying, you know, you got to have variety, do the cover songs too. So that's why I was testing these out. But you know what? Maybe not. Maybe my instinct has been right all along. Okay, well, I will keep my eyes open for any more votes from anybody on those 5. And I will play you out with the Introvert and load it up. So here's the original version of the Introvert from the Binary Language of Love, released in the year 2000? Is that 2000? 1990? No, yeah, 2000. Released in the year 2000 in the future. Isn't that crazy? I mean, if you've lived long enough, 2000 seemed far away when I was a kid. I'm kind of old, I know, and now it's 2020, and the world's in a pandemic, and we can't go anywhere or do anything. That's the future! The future! All right, here's the Introvert.
I won't dare say a word to anyone. I won't even hint just a little. I'll completely contain my excitement. I'll keep my demeanor right in the middle. I'll hide my every last feeling. I won't let this go. No one can know. I close my eyes to think of you softly. I love you from deepest within. My heart knows that this is forever, but nobody else will understand. I won't smile